Hello and welcome to News9 Mediaverse, and you are watching our special coverage on Manipur. One of the big news which has just come in is that uncertainty over the monsoon session of Manipur Assembly has ended. As per the notification issued by Manipur Governor Anusuya Uke, the monsoon session of the Manipur Assembly is going to start at 11 a.m. on from August 29th. It was supposed to start yesterday, but the governor did not give her consent, and it led to a lot of imagining a possibility about the reason why that consent was not given. Today, couple of important meetings happened. The most important one took place in Manipur, the state cabinet, which was chaired by Chief Minister N. Biren Singh, who recommended yesterday that the session should be convened from 29th. Earlier, despite the Manipur cabinet recommending the governor to convene an assembly session on 21st, the House did not sit on Monday as no notification was issued by Raj Bhavan. So this is a very critical development in trouble-torn Manipur. An insignificant development, a big incident which raises so many emotions. Assam Rifles, along with in close coordination with civil administration and police, ensured safe return of approximately 400 persons, including 89 women and 37 children, mostly from Meitei community, from Myanmar to Moirang camp of Assam Rifles in Manipur. This was an operation which was done, international border operation, cross-border operation, and there were many there were a lot of talks about Manipur and how it is favoring one community and all was also there. But this particular operation has raised a lot of hopes as far as this operation is concerned. To talk more about this situation, we are joined by several of our esteemed guests. The Hejang Misao, who will be joining us very soon, who is a social activist, Group Captain retired B. Nandakumar Sharma, who is a spokesperson, Delhi Meitei Coordinating Committee, Major Amit Bansal, who is a regular feature on our guest, and most importantly, Lieutenant Colonel Amidst Shukla, PRO Defense, Manipur and Nagaland. I would request my guests to wait for some time, because we have Lieutenant Colonel Amidst Shukla, who will be telling us about the operation which has been carried, in which approximately 400 families they have been rescued. Lieutenant Colonel Amidst Shukla, welcome to News9 Live.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor to be here tonight.
Thank you so much for, it is a very important operation which has been done by Assam Rifles in coordination with the civil administration and the local police. You brought back approximately 400 individuals, mostly belonging to the Meitei communities of Manipur. This operation they were brought from Myanmar to Manipur because they have fled, fearing the intensity of the conflict which was going on in Manipur. Can you please tell us more about this operation which was done by Assam Rifles, sir?
Yes, thank you so much. As everybody knows, 3rd May was the unfortunate day when all these incidents had started. And the border area of More, which is also quite famous for its commercial activities with Myanmar. So the Meitei community, being in the minority in that area, had firstly concentrated to the army or Assam Rifle camps in those areas. And further, they migrated to the safer places across the border, that is somewhere in Tamu Monastery and other local communities. So they were being sheltered there. It has been effort by the Assam Rifles since then to bring them back by reinstating confidence in them, and various confidence building measures with assistance of the Myanmar army have been undertaken. Large number of talks and large number of meetings with the Myanmar army personnel have been undertaken during this period, and we are happy that we have been able to reinstate the confidence in these people that resulted in the successful repatriation of these people, despite many challenges of being the border area and also being the this IS situation in Manipur that is going on. So till date, over 200 people have already been successfully repatriated back at More, and further being disseminated and sent to their respective locations. Thank you.
How difficult was this operation, given the fact that it was a cross-border operation, and as the current situation in Myanmar is also very volatile. So how difficult was this operation?
Very true. Firstly, yes, being a transborder movement, there are challenges are immense. Firstly, as brought out that Myanmar also is, facing some bit of unrest internally, and but despite that, the safe passage was requested to the Myanmar army, and they've been kind enough to honor the gesture of the Assam Rifles to give the safe passage to these people. And second, because somebody who is coming in bulk, you'll understand they become a very lucrative target for any miscreant to
Yes.
cause harm to such a gathering. So giving a safe passage by meticulously planning the route, by meticulously planning the safety across the route, by ensuring that there are no threats along that route. So all those battle procedures were followed so that these people are safely transported to the respective concentration camps and being kept there. Also, because people are living in not very good conditions back there in Myanmar, so they had health issues, they had medical conditions. So all those things have been looked after by the medical fraternity of the Assam Rifles, by the doctors of the district administration of. All these challenges were met by meticulously planning between the Assam Rifles, the army, the Myanmar army, the district administration, the police, and everybody involved in that area.
Okay. That's a very interesting detail which you have told us, sir. Can you also tell us where exactly these 400 people, where they have been sheltered, and what would be the process to rehabilitate them, sir?
As of now, we have the More battalion, that is the 5th battalion of the Assam Rifles. So presently, these people are being kept at the camps which are controlled by the district administration, but definitely supported by the Assam Rifles. So they are kept in these relief camps in the border areas. And the administration, from the administration point of view, the food, the shelter, the medicine, and whatever are the basic needs of these people, considering the women and children and elderly also involved in this, have been given by the Assam Rifles, and further details has been taken from them because there are many who wants to go back to Imphal, or those who wants to continue stay in More, and accordingly these people have been given options to stay wherever they want. If they are going to Imphal, they will be reinstated at Imphal. Otherwise, they will continue to stay at the relief camps, and as and when they feel they want to return to their native homes and all, so that kind of assistance will be provided by the Assam Rifles.
Lieutenant Colonel Amidst Shukla, before I come to ask you the last questions, I would also ask my PCR to play the visuals which have come. These are the visuals of those people, their family, who have been brought back from Myanmar to Manipur. Now they are at the More Assam Rifle camp, and they'll be kept there, and the talks is on, as Lieutenant Colonel was telling us, so that safe passage could be facilitated for them to their respective places. So these are the visuals which are there. So I would also want to ask you, you told us about these 400 people, and how Assam Rifles and others, you got together to get them a safe passage from Myanmar to Manipur. Can you also tell us whether there are more Indian Manipuri refugees there, who have fled during the height of ethnicity warfare which is going on in Manipur?
Yes, there are definitely a few more. As per our calculations, I think over 400 people should be there. More than half are already back, and efforts are on to get the balance also back. So we are hoping to get them as soon as possible by reinstating the confidence in these people.
Okay, Lieutenant Colonel Amidst Shukla, thank you so much for talking to News9 live and sharing us, the details of how the entire operation was carried. And it's very heartening to see that 400 Indians, 400 Manipuris, their families, now they have been brought safely back by Assam Rifles, and this operation was also assisted by local administration and police as well. I mean, it's a commendable job which has been done by Assam Rifles. So thank you very much,
thank you.
Lieutenant Colonel, for
Yes,
joining us.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. So through you, through your audience, I would like to convey that the Assam Rifle, the Indian Army, and the all security forces, the BSF, CRPF, the Manipur police. So everybody is putting in their best to reinstate the peace in Manipur as soon as possible. My only request is, please don't fall prey to any rumors. Please follow only the correct news channels, or the Twitter or other social media handles, to get the correct information. Don't fall prey to the propaganda machinery, which is very, very active in Manipur. And I can assure you that the security forces are all out to help each and every one, irrespective of their caste, creed, gender. So that is what I can assure.
That was very well put, Lieutenant Colonel Amidst Shukla. Thank you so much. And now I would go to our guests who have joined us, Major Amit Bansal, who has joined me, and also Group Captain B. Nandakumar Sharma, who both of them have joined us. Welcome, sir, both of you, to News9 Live, where our continuous coverage of what is happening in Manipur and its ramification out of Manipur is concerned, sir. You saw Major Bansal, Lieutenant Colonel Amidst Shukla detailing about this operation which is carried out by Assam Rifles, and also civil administration and Manipur police was also involved, and how they have been able to bring back 400 families, mostly Meitei families, back to Manipur. Major Bansal, my first question to you is, do you think this operation will put pay to the kind of rumors which were, or the narratives which were spun around, against Assam Rifles, of how they're siding with one ethnicity, and how they are completely against other ethnicity, and they are being partisan, and all kind of narratives which were spun? Do you think this particular episode will keep or will shut those negative narratives which were being spun around the Assam Rifles? Major Bansal?
Brijesh, this operation has given a hope that, or at least some step towards the normalcy has started. But if I see Manipur in detail, if I know Manipur, I can say about it, there are various factors, like the allegations which were put on Assam Rifles in the past. They were totally baseless. There was no ground to it. Assam Rifles were doing their duty, and one particular group was trying to stop them from doing their duties. And believe you me, Assam Rifle is not the only force which is facing the brunt of the social groups of Manipur. I must say, the social groups of Manipur. Yesterday, on 21st of August, the Additional Director General of BSF, Sonali Mishra, she went and met the Governor of Manipur. Primary issue of her meeting was that the supplies which were meant for the BSF troops located in Churachandpur were not allowed to go, and they were stopped by the women folk sitting on the road. She said 24 truckloads of supplies were going to Churachandpur to the BSF troops, not to Assam Rifles, not to anybody else, but they were going to the BSF troops stationed in Churachandpur. But these women folk did not allow these trucks to move ahead, and ultimately these trucks had to come back to Imphal. And as a result, there is a serious crisis of supplies for BSF also. So I am not saying it is only the Assam Rifle which is facing the brunt. It is anybody who is facing the brunt, who is working in the hill areas, or who is working in the areas of these tribals. Now, why it is that? Why it is that? And of course, as peace is returning to the normalcy, peace is returning slowly with the return of these 400 people. But what is the future? Because there are a lot of spoiling factors in Manipur. We have seen in the last 3.5 months, the moment people start talking about peace, the moment things start moving to normalcy, something happens and the entire process gets derailed. Initially, it happened on 3rd of August at Lamka in Kangwai, where 3 Meitei people were killed. Few days back, it happened in another Kuki village where 3 Kuki people were killed and their heads were decapitated. So these spoilers, plus the social factors of Manipur, they need to be curtailed. And I am really thinking of somebody who can let me know the answer to this social groups who have taken everybody at ransom. They have taken society at ransom. They have taken armed forces at ransom. They have taken political people at ransom. They have taken the entire state at ransom. So these social groups, how to handle them, it's a big question. Over to you.
Okay. B. Nandakumar Sharma ji, you know, this is one narrative which is like, you know, most common when it comes to this fight against what is going on in Manipur is concerned. You know, there were targets. Assam Rifle was targeted. Do you feel that, you know, this particular operation, which was also held by, as we have always mentioned, you know, by the Manipur police and also by the civil administration, will they put pay to the negative narratives which were run against Assam Rifles in Manipur? You know, so that the Indian Army was forced to release a statement which says that you know, that you should not fall prey to rumors. And B, what about these social groups? You know, the Mira Paibis, who and the kind of, you know, we talk about a blockade of NH2, we talk about blockade of NH37. What about these internal blockades which, you know, Major Amit Bansal was talking about, sir?
Brajas, thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to voice the Meitei community, because I am seeing very less Meitei representing the Meitei community.
It's a pleasure, is all ours, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. Firstly, I congratulate the Assam Rifles for bringing the Meiteis from the Myanmar border. However, having said that, this would not have happened because it's the duty of the Assam Rifle to stop the turmoil which happened in 3rd May or 4th May. That totally Meitei houses were burned down. It is responsible for Assam Rifle. And you also must be knowing that police have been removed from last 2 years in Moirang area, or a very small number of police officers and police personnel are there, and Assam Rifles have been controlling those areas. So with absolute control over the Moirang area, the such incidents have happened. It's very unfortunate. However, I appreciate the efforts put in by Assam Rifles, and many congratulations for bringing back the Meiteis. Number 2, as Major Bansal has said, he is in fact anti-Meitei, I would say. He has been talking about the Meira Paibis oftenly, and he has been demonizing the Meitei communities. I am listening in many media, including the YouTube channels. Like he once said, the Meitei are not the original settlers. In one of the videos I have, the cookies are the original settlers. Leaving aside that, and I also request that
I just, but Sharma ji, I just want to say one thing. Just one thing. You know, you can ask your fellow panelists and all. You know, we have been covering this for more than 100+ days, and you know, you can go through any of our coverage. You know, we have been all we make is an attempt to understand and how to make the crisis which is going on to the end. So we are not accusing anybody of being pro Meitei or pro cookie. I would request you to refrain from that, but the floor is yours, sir.
Anyway, let me continue. Thanks a lot. The Meira Paibis are guarding the Meitei societies. They are very respectable in the society. Their contribution is immense in the Manipur society right from 1904. You must be aware, in 1904, British had forced labor the Meitei males, and in that, Meira Paibi had come out and they have fought against the British. Again, in 1939, Meira Paibis has come out against the British for illegally, or say for exporting the rices which are meant for the Meiteis, and there had been an artificial famine. So against that, Meira Paibi had come out and they fought the British Empire, and those things, during those times, Assam Rifle have been instrumental for doing atrocities against the Meiteis. If you happen to go to Manipur, in Imphal, there is a memorial called Meira Paibi have been brutally beaten up, and they have been charged with the bayonets. So that is the atrocities in the background of Assam Rifle. So having said that, and also you would have seen in 2004, the Assam Rifles have, you must be knowing, Thaunalzam Manorama. Assam Rifle have taken Manorama into the custody, and she was raped, and her private parts were shot by bullets, so that the post-mortem could not reveal it. So the perception of the Assam Rifle in Meiteis have been very bad and very worse. This may be some of the certain exceptions. However, if crime is done, whatever good you do in your life, if you murder once, then you are in jail. Similarly, the image of the Assam Rifle in the eyes of the
Nandakumar Sharma ji, I want to ask you a question. Sir, I'm not here to condone. I mean, if Indian Army, we have seen a mechanism. I'm not saying that anybody is a god. Nobody can be god other than God. The fact is that there are always errant individuals. There are always, deviant individuals who are part of everything. And when they do such act or take part in such act, action is taken against them. Indian Army is a stellar example of that, sir. What I'm trying to understand from you, Nandakumar ji, is the fact. Indian Army has tweeted about Mira Paibis forcing them to release those 12, terrorists which they have arrested. What Major Bansal said, sir, is also a constant, narrative which we hear that, even the army guys have to show their identity cards, which is, given the circumstances, I can still believe that it's all right. You want to make sure that, that they are original army men and not some fake or imposter and all. That's all right. Given their apprehension, I understand that. But sir, how can they can literally dictate the terms on which an anti-insurgency operation be carried out? Nandakumar ji.
It is incorrect information. Whatever you are hearing is incorrect information about the Mera Paibis. They never stop any of the operations by the Assam Rifles or the armies. It is the protest by the Mera Paibis. You would have seen many videos of the protest by Mera Paibis. They have been kicked out. They have been fired with tear gas, and they have been kicked with the boots. But they don't say anything. They don't pick up arms, and they just peacefully do the protest. And leveling them, the Mera Paibis, for doing a peaceful rally or protesting, saying that anti-national or anti-social, it will be very wrong. Similarly, the other community, I would not like to name it, they also do the protests, and no such things have come up.
Even they do, sir. They do. Nandakumar ji, they do.
Just hear me 2 more seconds. In recent burning of More town recently, the Manipur police wanted to go to More as a reinforcement. However, the other community, the ladies, they have blocked the way. They also did the same thing. However, no narratives has been set for like the Mera Paibis has been demonized by the media. I would say rather media. Otherwise, if you go to Impal and see, it will be absolutely normal, and they do not do anything unnatural.
No, I completely agree with you, Nandakumar ji. And if you have seen News9 live, we have also shown that aspect where they had, stopped the Assam Rifles, stopped the army from moving forwards, and stones were pelted and they protested, and the army was forced to retreat from that place. We have covered that. And in fact, we did 2-3 sessions in which we spoke about how women are dictating terms as far as, from either communities, they are dictating terms as far as this fight against insurgency or, ensuring that the situation in Manipur be brought back to normal. I'm also joined by Hijang Misao, who's a social activist. There's some, connection issue so that he's not able to join us live, but he's on the, I'll come to you, Major Bansal. He's on phone line. Hijang, welcome to News9 Live. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Good to have you.
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear. Perfect. Hijang, you heard about this operation, which was carried by Assam Rifle, and it was also assisted by civil administration and Manipur police. Do you think that this particular operation will blunt the narrative which has been going around Assam Rifles?
Definitely, Kartiki. And first of all, I would like to salute to the Assam Rifle for their yeoman service. They act of without fear or favor once again proved to the entire world that they truly live to their slogan of fear, without fear or favor. And I would also equally salute the Kuki community, who are the major community in More town, for not obstructing and giving safe passage to those Meitei community who are stranded in Myanmar. Unlike the other community, especially the Meitei community, who've been one of the obstruction to any kind of movement, not only human, also as Amit Bansarji was saying, the food movement, not only for the Kuki community, but even for the Assam Rifle and the BSF who are stationed in the hills. And once again, the Kuki have shown time and again their maturity and sense of humanity in many occasions, starting from like lifting the blockade on highway, allowing all the essential goods to pass without any hindrance. But unfortunately, that was not reciprocated. You forget about the reciprocation. I mean, of the food items which are, allowed to pass through the Infar Valley. They even obstruct and block the movement of the life-saving drugs and immunization for the children, for the hills people. Unfortunately, they went to the extent of the so-called insanity by destroying all those drugs and immunization medicine, vaccine meant for the children. And the so-called police removed from Moirang is a blatant lie. And I would request all the Meitei community who are taking part as the panel to please start talking the facts and truth. So long as you keep telling all these lies, I think it will add to the strife tone that is gripping the entire state. Now, everyone who is speaking the facts and the truth will be termed as anti-Meitei, and that's very unfortunate also. And now, apart from the such service, I would also say the Meitei who are taking shelters in Myanmar, we must all know the fact that there's good number of Kuki population in Myanmar, which is in the Sagaing division, and the Chin Kuki population, they are big Kuki Chin population in Myanmar, where they are taking shelters. If the Kuki community doesn't show their maturity or humanity, I think those people won't be safe and they won't come back safely. Now, when they are calling the Chin Kuki community as narco-terrorists, now, what if those people are treated inhumanly without giving a proper safe passage to them? What would they think? So now I would request I would say my brothers and my sisters from Meitei community, please let's start talking the facts. Don't shield those people who are rendering such things.
Hejang,
Yes.
there's also this thing that which was started by by Major Bansal. Major Bansal, I'll come to you after this question, and which was rebutted by Nand Kumar ji, and because we have also done shows on that particular aspect. It is about the role of we spoke about Mira Paibis, but there are also Kuki women group who stopped the operations of armed CAPFs and police there. How do you look at this? Because I agree with Nand Kumar ji that while Mira Paibi's role in stopping and searching for identification is covered more regularly than their Kuki counterparts, but don't you think it's strange that that the women folk are dictating the terms as far as the Central Armed Police Force is concerned?
Karthik ji, we have
Brijesh. Hejang, Brijesh this side.
Sorry, yeah.
Brijesh, can I speak now?
Yeah, please go ahead.
So Brijesh, which Mr. Nandakumar is saying, and I'm requesting him to be little positive. So he's got so much of vengeance against me that he's speaking like that. Anyway, we'll stop it and we'll tell the specific incidents. See, when you talk about the social groups, particularly Mira Paipis in Manipur, it was not me who tweeted about them. It was the Spear Corps handle, which tweeted a clear video where these Mira Paipis were escorting. They were escorting the rioters armed with sophisticated weapons like machine guns and AK-47s. I didn't tweet it. It was Spear Corps which tweeted another video where they were stopping and obstructing the route of Assam Rifles when they were coming out of their post and going to the areas to rescue the people. I didn't do it. It was Spear Corps which did it. Not only that, when it was question of checking the identity cards, if you hear what the women are speaking, they are not checking the identity card for the authenticity of the Assam Rifles. They were checking it. They were asking people, "Isme cookie to nahi hai, isme cookie to nahi." They were abusing cookies and asking Assam Rifles कि अपना सब आई कार्ड दिखाओ, इसमें कोई cookie तो नहीं है. So that kind of narrative was being put. Not that what you were saying. They were just checking to check the authenticity of the security forces.
Okay, Nand Kumar ji, because this is the last question on this, because this. Can you unmute yourself, Major Bansal?
Just give me a minute to complete.
Please.
So when you are talking about this blockade on NH2, So before this blockade on NH2 started, much before that, Kuki community has issued notices that the way Mirap IPs have been blocking the roads to Churachandpur and Technopol and blocking the supplies to Kuki community, if this blockade is not lifted up, will block NH2. So they were warning for very starting. So this blockade started much later than that. And the Mirap IPs have been blocking the road to CCPur for last 110 days, 113 days, ever since this thing started. Now, who is responsible for that? So, on man, you can talk about their history a lot, but what is there in the present? They have kept the entire state at ransom. They have kept the entire state. They have released those 12 hardcore terrorists from the custody of the army. Now, when he's saying, Mr. Sharma is saying, of course, he's saying that it is the duty of Assam Rifles to save the people in Moirang. If it is duty of Assam Rifles to save the people in Moirang, it is also the duty of the Manipur police, because Imphal area doesn't have Armed Forces Special Power Act. So the law and order is the responsibility of the Manipur police. So it is the responsibility of Manipur police also to save the people from getting burnt alive in Manipur, Imphal Valley. Why is not talking about it?
I get your point, Mr. Major Bansal. You know, and Nand Kumar ji, I mean, this is the last question, because this was not the important intent of this conversation to veer it towards Mirap IVs and their role, because we have discussed them threadbare several times. Nand Kumar ji, how do you respond to this? You know, of what is being said, and also the fact. Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, Major Bansal, you can call me Nand Kumar or Group Captain BM Sharma, since you are a Fauzi. Please do not add Mr. to me. And number two, the blockade by the other community or Kuki is oftenly justified because Meiteis have been doing this and that and all. It is illegal. The blocking of any national highway is illegal as per existing Indian law. So government should take necessary action. Even if Meitei communities are blocking the road going to the Kukis, they are also illegal, and actions have been taken. We have been seen, and you have been showing in your TV programs, there have been lathi charge, tear gases, and spray of chemicals. You have seen, and actions have been taken. However, we have not seen any action taken on the blockade of National Highway number 2 and other thing. And also the reaching of supply to the Kuki community is not interrupted, because I'll give you an example. The Meiteis, even the Meitei victims who have been vacated from Kangbai and the Torung area, when they want to go to their paddy fields for doing cultivation, they were not allowed by the security forces. Now, I will not say specifically to Assam Rifles, because it may land up to another unnecessarily debate. So I will say security forces. Security forces stop the Meiteis to do cultivation works, saying that the Kuki are there, so it may not be safe. So they are denied from going to their own this thing. And at the same time, the villages where the houses have been burned, from their Kuki in front of the security personnel come and take away the tin sheets, utensils, even the chickens and the fish from fish ponds. They haven't taken in front of the security forces. So it will be incorrect that if you block this way, so we'll block National Highway. It's a law and order situation, and as a India government should take it very seriously, and it should be booked under UAPA 1967. And also, for the first time in the history of India, I would say, independent India, the army or military have been demonizing or campaigning against the Meitei communities. You would have seen some demystifying the peaceful and what I don't remember exactly. Then now Major Bansal has said the tweet from some spare corps and all. So this never happened. Even I have not seen the military doing against the Pakistani militant groups or terrorist groups. But how the India government or the military per se are so against the Meiteis? This has caused more mistrust to the Meitei community. And it is all these are happening. Whatever you are saying, checking the I card and all. If you ask me, I have served 26 years in Indian Air Force. I never knew what are the components of a Kuki. I just know the tribals are there. One is Naga or one is Kuki. Broadly, I know. I never knew in Churachandpur there is only Kukis or is a Kuki dominated. I never knew. But however, see, the media has shown differently, and also the Meira Pipes, how they will come to it. It's just for checking to satisfy themselves, they must be checking, because they cannot know. If you ask me, you give me a Kuki identity card, I will not be able to see it's a Kuki or not. It's the fact. So it will be very incorrect to say that the Meira Pipes are doing and so, and it is doing because of the mistrust. Mistrust based on the experience, mistrust based on their bad experience and based on the say what their relatives and what they have seen during the recent incident. So
Nandakumarji, I mean, we are guests all the time to speak so that, like, I mean, we are very fair as far as that aspect concerned. But, you made one point which I wanted to clarify. When you talk of or compare the situation with Pakistan, I would say that, in Pakistan, we know who the enemy is. And, there's no hesitation or taking action against them. Here, it is all, whether you are Meitei or Kuki, we all are Indian. So the task of the army becomes double. When it comes up with dealing, or it involves a lot of patience when it comes to dealing with their fellow Indians, rather than when it comes to dealing with Pakistani. Where I don't think the army would have any hesitation if they were in a similar kind of situation.
Bridges, I would like to interrupt here. Please. Information warfare is very much an important aspect of warfare in this world. So it is very important. So we, Army or Indian Air Force or Navy, we are very active on information warfare, and we must engage Pakistan also in terms of Twitter and all these social media channels, the media available.
Okay, Hijang, I'll come to you because I'll take a quick response from Major Bansal, and then I'll come to you and ask about this situation. Major Bansal, you heard Nandakumarji, he's talking about warfare. He's talking about that there is a degree of distrust because it seems that the army or the armed forces are siding with the Kukis and not with the Meiteis. I know it's like, we have discussed this threadbare of where exactly the army stands, the CAPF stands vis-a-vis the state and all. How do you respond to this situation? Because, I mean, when a particular community talks about it, I'm trying to understand from a majoritarian point of view, because, we usually try to paint the majority as devil and the minority as somebody, who is left fending for himself. So I'm freeing myself from this binary and I'm trying to ask you, how do you think this anti-army or anti-Assam Rifles, how did this feeling generated, Major?
See, there is a common, this kind of mistrust against Army Assam Rifle didn't start today. It was there 20 years back also, it was there 22 years back, 30 years back also. And it only relates to a particular community. So what is happening if the people, see, the society, the social groups in Manipur, they have been used to dictate their terms with everybody, whether it is police, whether it is society, whether it is political people, whether they are social leaders, and whether these are local police. Now, if somebody does not fall to their line, it automatically becomes their enemy. Automatically becomes their enemy, whether it is army or Assam Rifles. Now, let me tell you, Assam Rifles and army, they don't stay in area for long. They get moved out after 2 to 3 years. Plus, in Assam Rifles, you have officers from Indian Army. You have to believe on them that they are absolutely neutral. They are absolutely neutral. The kind of narrations which Group Captain Sharma is saying, I did not hear any one of them in the news. Okay. But I heard from authentic channels, authentic FIRs, copies, which narrated that yes, these were the Meerapaitis who burnt a 7-year-old child and her mother and their driver alive in an ambulance. So these kind of, I'm talking about the evidence, I'm not talking about what he says. Ultimately, the problem is that social groups have become so strong in Manipur that they are able to dictate their terms with anybody. And anybody, any power, maybe the army or armed forces or Assam Rifles, if they are not falling to their terms, they are termed as enemies. So that's what is happening in Manipur. You cannot question Assam Rifles. And I'm surprised how being a uniformed soldier, Group Captain Sharma himself is questioning Assam Rifles, questioning the Spear Corps, a corps headquarter which is tweeting it. He's questioning the tweet from a corps headquarters that it is a malified intention against a particular community, whereas it is an authentic source.
Okay. Okay, Major Bansal. Okay. There's also a news which is coming in, and I would like to read out to our viewers about, how the centre is likely to move fresh Central Armed Police Force units to Manipur, and they are expected to deploy around 20 to 22 fresh CAPF companies in the ethnic violence hit regions of Manipur after the withdrawal of these personnel deputed for the security of Amarnath Yatra that is ending soon. So Hijang, if I may come to you and ask you, do you feel that this 20 to 25 fresh Central Armed Police Forces, which include CRPF, BSF, Shashastra Seema Bal, SSB, who are going to be deployed in Manipur, do you think that they will be able to contain the violence which is going on right now in Manipur? or more addition of forces will not have any impact whatsoever on the ground? Hejang?
Kartiki, first, I am shocked. I am literally shocked to hear a group captain speaking with prejudice and bias, who should keep the nation first and his community second. Now, very unfortunate that such trained Indian soldier is keeping the community first and then the nation in the second. It's a very unfortunate. And coming to your question, if India wants to save Manipur, I think they must give power to the Assam Rifle, who is a leading insurgency, counter-insurgency forces. I equally respect the central paramilitary forces, even the armies, and I put my confidence in their capabilities and their power. But when it comes to counter-insurgency operation, I think Assam Rifles should be given the chance to do that, because there is a military intelligence input that there is a high influx of VBIG, which is known as Valley-based insurgency group from Myanmar, in whose hands are all those automatic weapons which are handed over by the people to the mobs. Now those 6,000 or 5,000 arms with more than 6 lakhs ammunition in the hands of this Valley-based insurgent group who are highly trained, pose a greater threat to the national integrity. And if the government really wants to save Manipur from such national threat, I think Assam Rifle, who has been doing such a good work, who is such a highly reputable, at the same time highly ranking kind of Indian soldiers, should be given a chance to do that. At the same time, I would also tell the central government, if you want to save Manipur, reimpose armed force special power in the valley. Unless you do that, I think there is a sword of Damocles hanging over Manipur. I think that's what I could say.
You say that a sword of Damocles hanging over the state of Manipur, Hejang. You know, I mean, I just want to understand one thing from you, Hejang, and then I will ask both Nandakumarji as well as Major Bansal about it. You know, there's a complete division among many other things. You know, one thing which I mean, you know, we love to talk about, you know, things which unite Manipur, but there's one more thing which completely divides Manipur, split wide open, is the imposition of president rule, you know, which majority of the army veterans talk about, which majority of one ethnicity talk about, but one community is completely against it. The Meiteis are completely against it. How do you look at this, Hejang?
That's understandable, because they want to save the government, which is led by Biren Singh, whom the other community consider as one of the chief architect of what is happening in Manipur. Now, if president rule comes in Manipur, the entire cabinet, the entire government will be now disempowered, and then the president rule will also allow the Assam Rifle to have that kind of operation, which can also like flush out the valley-based insurgent groups which are already there. And we have numbers of evidence where the last time when 3 cookies were killed, they are the valley-based insurgent group who are well trained. Those are not just the mob who, unlike the other incidents where they came and attacked cookie villages. So it is understandable that if president rule comes, the present government will no longer be there, and then the central government will take over everything, and then the very presence of the militant groups, the valley-based militant groups, will be under serious threat, which the Meitei community don't want to make it happen.
Nandakumarji, I'll come to you, because there are two questions, pointed questions which I would ask, I would want to ask is, and trust me, because you must have gauged from the flow of the conversation, the attempt is to understand rather than dictate terms. The thing is that, Hijang said that you are an army man, you have served in Air Force, and the fact is that, that you're putting ethnicity first over Indian Army ethos. And B, if you can explain why, Meiteis are so dead against president rule, because, the state government has not been able to contain violence so far, Nandakumarji.
Yeah, firstly, I am happy that Hijang talk about national security. It's very important. And he may perceive as anything about me that's immaterial. I'm an individual. I'm an Indian. I serve in Indian Air Force for the nation. So it doesn't matter how he perceives about me. But I'm very happy to hear from him that he spoke about national security. National security is very important. That's why we are fighting for this cause of national security. See, and also Hijang talked about the president rules and ASPA being put into valley. See, ASPA has been in the valleys. It has been just removed in 2022 April, sometime in April. After considering the law and order situation, this would have done by the government agencies after taking a lot of consideration. So that means valley incidences have been not there. And also I would like to bring to the notice of the viewers that the SU agreement, that suspension of operation, was initiated by the Indian Army in 2005. They went with this agreement with the Kuki arms groups or Kuki militants, approximately about 25 groups in 2005. And one of the reasons would be to flush out, to eliminate the Meitei insurgencies. I think this would be the main reason for going such type of agreement. Otherwise, this agreement is highly demoralizing for the Indian Army, in my opinion. And also it is unlawful. That part I'll explain later on. But however, before 2005, if we see from 2001 to 2004, I am quoting this data from the MHA annual report, Ministry of Home Affairs report. It's openly available in the public domain. So from 2001 to 2004, number of security personnel killed by the extremist group altogether, Kuki, Naga, I don't know about Naga, I had a ceasefire, so Kuki and Meitei insurgencies, let us assume 143. And after the agreement, that is suspension of operation, that is 2005 to 2008. Since I have taken 4 years, so I am taking 4 years down. So the number of security personnel killed by the insurgencies. So since Kuki militants have gone with the agreement, so the killing would have been done by only the Meitei insurgencies, I presume. So the number is 133. There is reduction of only 10 security personnel's life. 10 is also very high, but it's not a much of a significant. So what army achieved? To save 10 Meiteis, they have supported a militant group. And there were about 2,181 cadre in the SU group, and they have been paid stipend. And from 2008, India government and Manipur government came on board about this agreement, and they have been paying stipend and thinking that they will be coming to the mainstream. However, we have seen most of the problems happening today is because of SU groups. There may not be the SU groups directly, but who can handle all these sophisticated weapons, which you all have seen in the videos. And even you could have seen the Republic Day parade at Lamka, the stadium with heavily automated rifles and all those things. These are to be trained by either it's SU militant groups or trained by the SU militant groups to the youngsters. Okay. So it is very dangerous situation. And also, by this SU agreement, Meitei insurgencies have been eliminated. Let me tell you, from 2001 to 2005, the total extremist killers 557. I presume there may be some cookies and more of Meitei, 557. Okay. From 2005 to 2008, number of extremist kill is 3,944. See how much have been increased. So all these are Meiteis, because Kuki had gone with an agreement called suspension of operation, and right from 2005 to 2021, the figure goes to more than 4,400. And the arrest is also very high. The arrest and total kill approximately cross over 20,000. So Meitei insurgencies, what Mr. Hejang has said, is already eliminated. So whatever the problem is happening in the valley area is not because of Meitei insurgencies. Okay. Yes, there may be some elements, but however they come under the UAPA Act and all the laws, available laws, they come under that. Sunni Indian groups, they do not come under UAPA 1967, they do not come under Arms Act 1959 and Arms Rule 2006. That's how they have been protected. That's why Army and the Assam Rifles could not do anything, even if
Nandakumarji, Major Bansal, how do you view this sentiment, about this, majority of armed forces, people, who have served in the Manipur theatre, we have talked to them, spoken to them, top ranks, Lieutenant General downwards, they all favor President rule. But the central government seems to be completely averse to that. Why not President rule, Major Bansal?
Sir, I would first answer, like if I go as per Group Commander, Group Captain Sharma, all Meitei, if as per him all Meitei terrorists have been eliminated, then who killed Colonel Viplav Tripathi and his family? Who killed? So there has been a lot of incidents which have been happening in the past. Who were those 12 hardcore terrorists who ambushed on 6 Dogra and were released by Mira Pipes? So I'll tell you the background of it. See, valley-based groups, they have been predominantly operating in the hills and taking shelter in the valley area. It has been happening. You ask any, not me, you ask any army officer who served in the valley, ask any army officer who served in the northeastern theatre, he'll tell you the same thing only. They used to attack, and their main supply base, main support base used to be in the valley area. Now, over a period of time, maybe because of political compulsion, maybe because of political pressure, maybe because of social group pressure on the people, they removed the Armed Forces Special Power Act from the valley.
Okay.
Agreed. Now, if you see this incident, see in the hills, now cookies and tribals are agitated. So it is very difficult for the valley-based terrorists to stay over there. Where will they go? They'll go to the valley area. They'll stay in the valley area. Now in valley area, who can catch them? Who can carry out operations against them? It is either army or Assam Rifles. Because there are a lot of questions on the Manipur police, so you cannot expect Manipur police to carry out operations against them.
Okay.
Now, since there is no Armed Forces Special Power Act, so army cannot operate in these areas unless a magistrate is accompanying them. Assam Rifle has got limited operability because they are central paramilitary force, so they can operate in these areas. So they are creating a vengeance against Assam Rifle that Assam Rifle should not operate in these areas.
Okay.
So that the social groups are able to shield these valley-based terrorists and also the 4,000 plus sophisticated weapons looted by them from the various various areas, so that these weapons cannot be recovered. These valley-based terrorist groups cannot be caught. And let me tell you, as per the reports of various anti-terrorism portals, the number of valley-based terrorists currently active, is more than 2,500. More than 2,500. Not they have not been eliminated. More than 2,500.
Okay.
They're operating between India and Myanmar.
But what actually, we've been covering this tribe for such a long time, but what actually brought, smile faces, if I may say so, these 400 Indians, 400 Manipuris, being rescued from Myanmar, safely brought in to Manipur, where Assam Rifles, along with in close coordination with civil administration and police, ensured safe return of approximately 400 persons, which includes 89 women and 37 children, mostly from Meitei community. They were brought in from strife-torn Myanmar to Moirang camp of Assam Rifles in Manipur. You can see these visuals of how these, women and children are, getting onto the truck of Assam Rifles to safety. It's an extremely heartening, visual, because the fact is that it's so glad to see that this cross-border operation has been carried out successfully, and 400 Indians, 400 Manipuris have been brought back to Moirang camp of Assam Rifles in close coordination with civil administration and Manipur police.
Pakistan is actually genociding Baloch people. So being Baloch is a crime. If you are a Baloch, it means in the eyes of Pakistan, you don't have any right to live.
The Chinese and Pakistanis are colonizing the Baloch and exploiting their resources.
The Baloch armed struggle will continue unless China withdraws, Pakistan military withdraws from Balochistan, and give Baloch complete authority to decide for themselves.
The Baloch feel that if they don't act now, they will become marginalized.
What lies ahead for Balochistan?
Balochistan, Bangladesh 2.0, streaming now.
President Trump is a total and complete dipshit. Now, you see, I would never say these things.